Today's video is about ego. So, ego, having an ego, what does that mean? Having an ego is basically believing strongly in an identity you have of yourself. And I want to talk about the main pitfall for me, which I'm still coming to grips with myself, and could help you if you're anything like me, which is this. So we commonly believe that ego is being sort of taking too much of yourself. Like you have abilities that you don't really have, but you're just trying to present yourself in this way, like, oh, I can do this, like this insane confidence, which is kind of like a fake confidence, which is off-putting. I mean, I always thought ego was that. So I always thought that not thinking I'm good enough was my safe space. You know, I can't do this, you know, I can't really do that. I know I don't want to be like that guy who's all cocky. In fact, I even had this feeling of like, even when I was better than someone at something, and that other person was trying to teach someone else, I'd be like, that guy's being cocky. That person's being cocky because they're trying to help them, and I don't even think I'm good enough. And I always thought that was their problem, that was their arrogance. But no, because ego goes the other way. This is the main point. Ego can stop you from helping because you don't think you're good enough. And it's not an evil thing, it's just ignorance. I mean, in my life, I was more on that side of, I'm not good enough to help someone else. I'm not good enough. How can I help someone else if I don't feel like I'm perfect? But that's the problem. You think you have to be perfect. And it's hard to come to grips with that, but you don't have to be perfect. That's the main thing. You think you have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to help other people. And in fact, a really good piece of advice I heard lately was that through your imperfection, because no one's perfect, through your imperfection, realize that you still know things and you can still help others. And actually that will just make you, I suppose it will just help people and it will make you fulfilled. That's the main thing. So ego goes both ways. It goes in the way of thinking too much of yourself and being really cocky, but it's also this insidious whisper in your ear, I can't do it, you can't do it, you're not good enough, don't help. And it's a way to mask insecurity and sort of this like laziness and this unwillingness to confront life, I would say. Which is natural. I mean, for many reasons, I know in my own life, there's reasons why I'm like that. I have been like that, because that's my angle, coming from the angle of not good enough. So the first thing I would say to do is admit, if you're like me, just admit that there are things you do know. You're not perfect, but you can still help people. Can you believe that? You can help people. I mean, you can. You can admit you're good at something. This is the thing. Like, I guess it sounds cliche, and I don't even know if it's true, because honestly, I see people out and about who are like, it's like, what could this person possibly be good at? But now that I think about it, there are so many people in my life who, if I took them out of that environment where they have a professional ability, and I saw them walking around in the day-to-day, I'd be like, this person just looks so unassuming. They don't really have like a physique or a certain kind of appearance. But yeah, if you see them in their craft, they're like just amazing. I mean, I just remember, I can't name names, but I just remember a boy when I was younger who was insanely good at swimming. And he just looked, if you saw him outside of that context, you'd be like, well, yeah, it's just a skinny guy, just like a skinny guy. Just like a skinny little bloke. But damn, he was a great swimmer. And I envied him, and I even wondered, like, even just on a physiological level, how can you even be that good at swimming? And he was dedicated, and I don't think he still swims, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, you just don't know, like, appearances are so false. And it sounds, again, cliche to, and like a bit cringe to say that appearances are false, but it's true. Like, people are good at really random things, and that means you're good at something. There's something you can do, especially as a guy, to help other people. Part of what I'm doing through these videos is trying to like speak to myself or speak to my past self. And it's selfish on my end a little bit, but it's helping me as well, because again, I come from the angle of I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I can't help. Dude, of course I can help. I have a great life. If I saw myself a couple of years back, if I saw myself now from a couple of years back, I would be amazed, at least from the surface of things, you know. I'm not saying my life is free of problems or issues, but I mean really, my life is good. I mean, I'm here sitting in an open field, and I rolled up here on my bike, and I just felt like a king. I've got this whole field to myself. Like, I don't know, it's just amazing. Like, you can just do anything, really. But this is the thing, we think we're not good enough, and here's the trap. We think that saying we're good at something means I'm cocky, I'm arrogant. No, it doesn't. Because being free of ego just means having the courage to admit where you actually are. Like, you're not too... Like, identify whether you're thinking you're too much of yourself, or whether... So, like, if you're always saying, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, maybe you need to knock yourself a little bit. Like, maybe you're not so good. Look at the results that you're bringing. Are they that good? On the other hand, if you're always saying, no, I'm not good enough for this, I'm not that good, but then you're actually bringing results, realize that you're actually you're detrimenting yourself. And by the way, when you do that, you actually detriment others. I realized this recently, and I realized how much of an impact my words have, which I always assumed my words were sort of meaningless because of this, that's the thing, because of this ego, right? When you say something, your words have an insane power. And you realize that when you don't think you're good at something, that will spill over into the vocabulary you use, and especially if you work on collaborative things. My thing is dancing, partner dancing. So when you bring that energy, you can actually, I realized recently, I haven't said anything positive to my partner in like just a really long time. So when I said something that was something I did believe, which was, you know, just something positive about the partnership, the other person was like, wow, I'm happy you think that, I'm glad you think, like, they were surprised that I said that. And it made me think, really, I've been this selfish to withhold what I really believe because I have this image of like not being good enough. Come on, man. Come on. And I'm really glad, because be kind to yourself. I want to be kind to myself. I want to be kind to you as well, and you be kind with yourself, because this is the kind of thing, like, you can't beat yourself up about that. You were just ignorant. Just realize that. Just realize that there's a not good enough image, there's a good enough image, and the truth is, which can be hard, I guess, to face, because it means accepting. It means accepting duality. It means accepting that things aren't fixed, because that's the thing. You can always fall back. Like, no matter what happens, you can always be like, it's fine, I wasn't good enough. Or on the other end, you could say, well, what would you even say on the other end? You would say, I'm good enough, so it's their fault. It's always their fault. See, because you can always collapse into one of the extremes. So it's actually, ironically, a bit difficult to say, actually, I'm somewhere in between that. The truth lies somewhere in between these two poles. So assuming that I'm one of these poles, I mean, come on, it's just silly. And here's the next point, which I could make another video about this, I guess, but the sooner you find that truth, that in-between truth, and you sort out, that you sift through the rubbish and you realize what's true, that's when you can make actual progress in the profession, especially if we're talking like the thing you're trying to do, your goal you're trying to achieve in a sport, for example. The sooner you find that truth, that's when you actually will make progress, because then you're living in truth. You're then not blocking yourself with these like frameworks. It's like when you live in one of these two extremes, you're like sand being sifted through flipping colander. I don't even know what it's called. Like a sift through a net. You can just remove the net if you have that courage, and all of the sand will spill through. The whole current of your being, I guess, to be kind of spiritual. So yeah, I see we're at 10 minutes now. I think I'll end this video here. Is there anything I forgot to say? I guess I'll give you the when, because that's important. When should you do this? If you're facing any kind of stagnation, and that's in anything, but mostly I'm thinking of like professions, then if you're facing that stagnation, this is something to think about. Is your ego getting in the way? Is there something you want to do, want to say, but you're blocked because of one of these two extremes? And again, my angle is the people I'm speaking to more are the people who think, you know, accepting you're good enough means being cocky or arrogant. I'm saying that's not true. I'm saying that if you can accept that you actually are good at something, so many possibilities will open up, and it will help you ultimately. Like, it will be more helpful for you. So that's what I wanted to say today. Thank you for listening. I'll probably make another video now because I'm feeling quite creative, but yeah, thank you for listening, and see you later. Let me know what you think.